Hey, welcome to my video. We're gonna go over how to make our first video on Flip a Clip. This might be the one that you keep and this is your video, or this might be like a trial run. So this is how it works. So first you'll download the app from the self-service app on your iPads. And once it's downloaded, you should get to this screen. It'll go through something that you could make in this app. Here are all my projects. Down here at the bottom, there's a plus sign. You're going to put your name, and then you're just going to put transform.mp4 project. All right. You can set a background. You can do another color if you'd like, but I'll do white. Canvas size is fine for YouTube. And here's where you can change frames per second. If you make it go very high, it's nice and smooth, but it'll take you a lot more time. So I think a good balance here is either 8 or 10. I'll go ahead and choose 10 for us. Go ahead and go to the 3 dots at the top and go to grid and edit and make sure your settings are the same as mine. All right, so the very first thing that we're gonna do in this project is make a background grid that we can perform all of our transformations on. So we're gonna go ahead and click to the brush, and then we're gonna click on ruler. It's going to situate a dotted line there for us. So move these dots so that they are both on the same vertical line. Doesn't matter which one. And then once you're satisfied with that, you're forcing the app to only draw vertical lines. So we'll change our size too. So just click on the size and kind of hold it and then drag it up or down. We're going to go really thin, like at 0.1 or 0.2, 0.3, somewhere in there, that amount of pixels. And just go ahead and then just draw all the vertical lines. I'm going to choose a different color actually, so you can do that. So I'll go ahead and erase this line. And my colors are going to be back on my brush color. I'm going to do a much lighter gray. Okay. So you can just draw all of the vertical lines, and I will pause here and continue once I have all of my vertical lines drawn. Okay. There are no more vertical lines to draw, so I'm going to switch to making horizontal ones. And it helps too, you can also pinch to zoom out a little bit, so that way you can see the lines a little bit better and really use your pencil. Okay, so I will go ahead and finish this very quickly. And again, I'm actually doing all of, oops, that one was a little bit off. So if you do something bad, you can undo and keep going. Perfect. I'm also going to fill in with maybe a darker color. I want to fill in my x-axis, which I'm going to go about 3 blocks up is pretty safe. And I'll switch this back to be vertical. And I'll go ahead and draw a vertical line about 6 blocks in. Again, this is just to be consistent with the picture that's on the project description. All right, so I can turn off the ruler and do this and this, and now I have my y-axis. Whoops. My y-axis keeps wanting to shift, and my x-axis. Okay, so we want to ensure that this grid is in the background. So on layer, we'll go ahead and hit add, and it doesn't matter what number it is. All that matters is that it's on top here. You can name it layer 2. And you can go ahead and you can go into color and you can change whatever color you'd like. I want to make my brush a little thicker, maybe at like 7 pixels, and draw a square. Or any object you'd like. Maybe it's a point. Maybe it's the rectangle, so you have to draw in part 2. Whatever. Let me show you how a basic animation process could work, especially with the geometry we're doing. Go ahead down here, do a long press with your finger, and hit copy. and then immediately hit paste. So we want this thing to move. So if we go to the lasso and circle it, we have tons of choices. Down here it says transform, which we know transformations are the most general thing you can do. So we got these stretches, we've got these dilations, we've got these rotations. All of those things are possible. Let's get back there. So I'm in my second slide, and I'm going to go ahead and rotate this just a little bit. And you'll see there's a little bit of a shadow of what was left in the previous slide, and that's how this works. It's actually called the onion level. Okay. Now, say you want to keep rotating this and make it into an animation. So we're going to copy and paste, do the lasso tool again, circle it, rotate it a little bit more. Okay, go down here, copy, paste, circle with the lasso tool, rotate it a little bit more. And if we just do this a few more times, and we have to be patient with this. This isn't something that we can just make really quickly, because we want to make sure that we have a lot of slides so it's a nice, smooth translation. In fact, you could make double the number of slides that I'm making, and it would look even better. So I'm realizing that slide 1 and slide 7 are actually identical for the most part. So I'm going to actually delete slide 7, so you can hit erase, and it'll go away. So I have 6 slides here. And if you want to just kind of see what you've done so far, you can hit play. And look at that. We have a beautiful rotation around the 0.22 of this square, and it's rotating clockwise. So our animation is only going to last 0.6 seconds. So we really want to watch this thing rotate a little bit longer, right? So how do you make that happen? This is where we can go to the frames viewer, and here are all my frames. And if you do a long press, you can select frames. So I can select all my frames. And at the bottom, there's a copy. And then on the far right is paste at the end. So I can do this as many times as I want. It was 10 frames per second. So say we go to, let's make it a nice number. How about 60? So 6 seconds of spinning. That could be interesting. That is good. So if we go out of here and cancel and go to the beginning, we can watch again, and it will spin for 6 whole seconds. And then it's actually going to loop itself, so it'll actually spin forever. But that actually gets more frames in there for you. Now, another way that you can do animation is, well, there's plenty of different other lasso tools that you can play with. But you can also do something like this. So say I wanted to put my name, and I wanted to make it so that it slowly animated and revealed my name. You can draw a little bit of a letter, hit copy, paste down here, draw a little bit more, press hold, copy, paste, and then keep going, press hold, copy, paste, press hold, and then copy, paste, and then do a little bit more, and then copy, paste, a little bit more. You see, then you can write out your entire name, and you can see that it will kind of animate it like this. So this is another way that you can use this as an animation tool. So let's say you wanted to add some of these title slides as well. You can go ahead and go in to your first slide, and you can hit add. And here we go. We have a fresh slide. You could enter text if you want to. You could say something like transform.mp4, and it can put that as a title. And I believe there's other ways you can play around with this too. So just look around, press buttons, see what you can get. But say you have that, and then say this was part 1. So say, okay, well now I need another slide here. So you just hit add, and then you say you want to handwrite this one. You say, I want to say part 1. And if you want to do an animation, that'd be great. Or you draw whatever, or you describe what you're going to do with an animation. That's great. If not, you can just put part 1, and then you show what you made on top of your grid. And then let's say this part of our project was part 2. So you can, again, just hit add. And then let's say part 2. Okay. And then let's say part 2 was you drawing like cursive here. So you are ready to kind of end your project, let's say. How do you do that? Well, go ahead and go up here back to the 3 dots and go to frame viewer. You'll kind of notice that things look a little bit unbalanced. And let me show you what I mean. If you hit play, it flashes through things and it's like, oh my goodness, what happened? Well, you only had 1 slide dedicated to each of these things. That's not enough time to give our eyes a moment to view it. So how do you fix that? Well, go here. I do a long press on whichever one I want to copy. And then you hit the copy, which is the 2 squares, paste. And you can just keep hitting paste. And let's say you want it to show for about 2 seconds. You could stop it around there. So I can see right here is the 20th slide. So that'll be 2 seconds. Say you want this one as well. So copy and then add to end, which is the right-hand side button. Perfect, looks good. And then down here, I wanted to do a similar thing for this one. And I'll just estimate here. Great. So now, when I go to finish and save to camera roll, when I hit make a movie, and I save it to my photos, it's actually here in my photos, and it looks pretty good. There's no weird jumps. And then it's going to kind of be quick at the end, but yep, and then it loops on itself. Okay? So this is what you want to get in your camera roll, and you would submit this to Google Classroom.